And welcome everyone. Okay, welcome only one, only zero. But welcome to whoever pops in here, whoever starts. That's okay. I just posted the live thing now, and I am supposed to be. See, I follow the deal where I allow myself that first 10 minutes of the stream to be me getting ready and stuff. Although I do actually start beforehand. I try to start the stream actually 5 minutes before time, and then I'm supposed to be 10 minutes to uh, to kind of get things set up. But usually, what happens is it takes that 5 minutes, and then it takes another 10 minutes, or it takes another 5 minutes to finish all the stuff I need to do. And right now, um, honestly, I shouldn't even really have to, post my stream everywhere, but I'm still having to do that because hardly anybody comes into the stream. Understandably. And what they say about quantity is not true at all. Um, not when you're starting, not when you're, you know, not when you're doing streaming, not when you're doing videos. Just forget about the thing about the doing the quantity first. Yeah, I mean it's there's a case to be made for posting a bunch of videos up front, and then that way people will have some stuff to actually watch for a while. But hold on a sec. Uh, okay, cool. Yeah, it's not showing up. It's weird. It's not showing up on Restream here. Oh, here, let me check something though. I haven't actually refreshed or let's see. We're live. Um, hold on a second. Still within that first 10 minutes. So give me a quick sec here. The Restream brand tries to put its thing in the description, and it puts it at the top, so all people see is the top instead of the first few words of my description. So I usually change that. It doesn't do that in Rumble for some reason though. But okay, so that's changed. Now I open that, and I'm live here, and there's one watching on YouTube apparently. And then let's refresh Rumble, and it shows one watching on Rumble. And I guess Fender, if that's probably you, I think. Anyway, with Tor so far live, cool. Um, Fender, are you using the Tor browser, or are you just using Brave or something? And um, are you using Brave and like opening like a Tor window, or some browser that opens a Tor window? I a long time ago, I downloaded the Tor browser and I tried to use it, and it was slow as heck. So I stopped using it. Oh, okay. So I don't even really know what you're saying, but that's okay. I don't have to know everything. I'm not I'm not internet noob, but I'm not a wizard either. Internet wizard. Anyways, so and if you're wondering why I keep looking away from the camera, it's just because yeah, really slow, right? Um, is because my it's not a secondary. It's actually technically a TV. It's a little TV, but it's working as my secondary monitor, and it's a 69 because it's a TV. It's a 69 widescreen, and so it's way off to the side. And my main monitor is like a 32-inch, so it's like huge. Especially the way I actually have it on my desk. I have it actually close to my face because right now I'm not wearing my glasses. Um, so I'm kind of close up, and then I have to like literally crane my neck over to the right, to my right, to actually see like the chats or see Here, let's refresh this to actually see the chats or like RC hex chat, just to see the chats. Anyways, you know, Discord hex chat and the like. Okay, so let's go into okay. So here, typing chat from Restream. That. And it's working fine. Good, good, good. Okay. Actually turn it off to save the bandwidth. Yeah. Okay. Oh, you need to turn off the stream. Did you... Wait, oh, did you turn off the stream? Yeah, I mean, I know I can take some bandwidth if you're on a phone or if you have low cost, you know, internet's too expensive or something. You have to do, you have to make some, you know, do something. For a while there, we were about to not have any internet ourselves, and that would have stopped my streaming. It wouldn't have necessarily stopped my development or even videos because I could find a way of uploading videos, but I would definitely have stopped the streaming if the internet if I couldn't have the internet here. Broadband internet, I'm saying. Oh, still watching. Okay, cool. Um. Anyways, okay, so this is okay. So the first part's always the story part. I mean, it's actually making the game. I'm making the game here technically. So, it's still story stuff though. Here, let's do a quick. I'm not gonna really do a playthrough, but I'm just gonna do a quick show here, show and tell. That's the intro. That's another intro, and then you're in Hubert's home, and you know, hit one if you wish to examine books, scrolls, and papers. Hit two if you wish to look in the crystal ball. So we do that. Loose papers examines. Uh, Hit one to go over to the crystal ball, so you go to the crystal ball anyways. All of this kind of funnels into one thing, and that was the kind of the idea of that's kind of like my design philosophy, I guess. I don't really have design philosophy, but it's the way I'm building the game, the story for the game. So I have the story beats, and then you have the interactivity that's actually in between the story beats that get you from one beat to the next, right? One piece of the story to the next piece of the story. And so in this little bubble, then you get these choices in here, and it's a lot more narrow here in um, it's a lot more narrow than it will be in the actual game, in the game part. It will actually be when I get to the actual text adventure portion, the interactive fiction or whatever you want to call it, where you actually have a parser, you actually type in words and commands, and you get full descriptions back, and you have inventory and puzzles and all that thing. I'll end up being like that. I just stopped using the Tor. Still watching. Didn't want to saturate the Tor network with high bandwidth. Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense, anyways. Okay. So let's go where I was. Let's open my notes. Pardon me. I've been drinking my electrolyte after coming in from mowing the lawn. Today wasn't too bad though. It's mostly cloudy. It's going to be raining this afternoon, and it was pretty dang warm, but it wasn't ridiculous. Although the sun did come out towards the very end, and it was really pretty hot. So the temperature is probably going to be fairly high today at 88 Fahrenheit, which is, I don't know, 29 or something. I don't know if that's in the 90s. I can't remember. Um, what what did I do? What did I do? Oh, I need to open a new window anyways. This, and let's full screen it. And let's see, what is 88 F in Celsius? Just in case any European folks or people that don't use Fahrenheit. I guess maybe only the US use Fahrenheit. I don't know. That's 31 degrees Celsius. That's gonna be how hot it is today. So here, but it wasn't too bad today. In fact, See, I have a weather app here for Linux. Let's see. It's 82 right now, and supposedly it's raining a little bit right now. Okay. Um. Okay, so let's get back to my game here. The notes. So ChatGPT gave me a kind of like a template that I could do to make my new pages. There's a summary of the story beat. Um, there's the goal or a problem setup, which is basically the intro text that you have in the page. Prompt. I don't remember what the prompt is about. What spells does Herbert use to tell what went on before? I'll have to actually pull that up because I don't remember what the prompt part of it is. ChatGPT, good old AI, huh? This one. In fact, it's getting sluggish. I probably should almost do like a new conversation for this, but okay. Let's see here. Where is the thing? I have to go back up a little ways here. The template. No. I was looking at how okay, so so in this part that I'm on currently, and I've got it almost done, so I'll just probably be filling in the page today, or filling in the pages anyways. So there okay, so he was trying to figure out what's going on with everything. Everything's closed down, and Wizard University is closed down, and he's going to investigate Wizard U and Fairy God College. Okay, so right now we're in the Wizard U part of it, and he manages to get in eventually, and he ends up in the trophy room, and in the trophy room there's a glass case where there was a scepter for some like inter-realm collegiate sports or something, collegiate games or whatever, and so this scepter was the trophy, and was you had it for a while, and now it's missing. So he goes in there, it's missing, but the case hasn't been tampered with, and so he uses magic a little bit to figure out if the wards have been broken, if it was physically, if anybody messed with it physically, like opened it or lifted something or whatever, the wards would have been broken, or if somebody cast magic on it, the wards would have been broken. But what it is the words haven't been broken, and so he needs to figure out how and who and why this scepter was stolen, and um, I should be better explaining stuff right now. I'm just sometimes sometimes I can talk a lot, and then other times I get kind of stuttery and whatever. So forgive me for that. But oh, I should probably go to desktop. I forgot here. Let's go to desktop there. You probably weren't even seeing nothing, but that's okay. I haven't done anything yet, so. Um, okay, so I needed to figure out. Okay, so how is he going to reconstruct the crime? And I asked a couple of AIs how other fiction, books and comics and games and whatever, how they handled using magic to kind of recreate the scene of a crime or play back the scene of a crime, right? And then I also asked, what about before the 1900s? Because most of the time when we think of playback, we're thinking of like video playback, like a VCR or a DVD player, Blu-ray player, or even just the video player on your computer. And so I asked about some things, and there's a lot of deals about bringing up the past, you know, sometimes using a glass, sometimes using whatever, and just like replaying it or reliving it or whatever. So, and I don't even know why I said that, why I told you that. It's just because I guess because I'm scrolling through the conversation that I had. Anyways, let's go to ghostly reenactments, echoes of the past, visual playback, like a magical DVR. Rewriting the scene magically. Okay, so I was trying to figure out the different spells here, but let's see. I have to keep going. Okay, here we go. I think it's this one. Okay, story beat builder, 3 choice max, beat summary, 1 sentence. What happens in this beat? What's goal or problem? And I know it says Hubert's goal or problem because I'm working with Hubert, the character, but just the goal of the problem. Whatever the character is trying to solve, react to, figure out, right? The setup text, like the description, context, the player prompt, the choice question. What is the player asked to decide? And then you have your 3 choices, and then you have your outcomes of your choices, and where the choices eventually lead the result, right? And that's what. Whoa. Uh-oh. That's not what I wanted. I'm trying to open the mail up. I got it. Arg. Close that. Okay. Accidentally hit the wrong icon here. Okay, over here. This is where I wanted. So the prompt. Now I just kind of did this as a generic question. What spells does Hubert use to tell what went on before? And that's not exactly what I'm going to ask the player, or reader, whatever you want to say. At this point, you can interchange player with reader, basically, because where's the thing? Where is the thing? Okay, because they're kind of synonymous right now. Right now, it's not even a real game. Even the choose your own adventure part, it's not a real choose your own adventure story. By that meaning, I don't have a bunch of endings on it, and I don't have a lot of trackbacks. It's forward, it's linear, and it goes to one result, one ending, because eventually it's going to be fully interactive. It's going to have inventory. You're going to have puzzles. You're gonna type in stuff to where to go, and eventually like point and click and all that. So I'm not putting now I could put endings because I could in the final game I could have multiple endings if I wanted to. Some people have tried doing that, and honestly, uh, you have to be sure that people are going to see each of your endings. You know, the endings might be pretty expansive, or even a short animation, or in this case it'd just be text. But I mean, in the end final result, if you have multiple endings, sometimes they won't even go to that. You might have worked really, really hard on an ending, and they'll never get to that ending. Maybe because it's too hard to get there, or whatever, or because they found something more the other paths more interesting. So, um, I'm just doing like classic adventure game where you don't have multiple endings because you don't want to like go back. You know, you don't want to go back to the beginning, right? And remember in the old Sierra games, they used to have deaths, you know, like death around every corner. Like you'd step off a ledge or something. Sometimes you wouldn't be able to tell what was the actual thing that you could walk on and what was actually walking off the ledge. And sometimes you'd speed it up. I don't know if you remember, but especially in the Sierra games, you do the speed thing and you speed it up, and then when you're trying to go up like a staircase or something, if you didn't click right, it would fall off and you would die, and you'd have to keep restarting. And then you'd have to save a lot, and there are times when even the puzzles, you'd need an inventory item later that you couldn't go back and get. So This won't have any of that kind of stuff. Um. Anyways, I forgot about yeah, the speed setting, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So I'm not doing the multiple ending thing partly because the story is kind of big. I could put a lot of work into something that somebody would never see. Um, and like I said, I'm not going to do multiple endings. Otherwise, I'm not going to have a bunch of deaths. You, I don't know if you remember it, but in The Secret of Monkey Island, there's a scene where Herman Toothrot kind of beckons you. I don't know if he beckons you over somewhere. Anyways, you're on a cliff. Either he pushes you over, or you go there yourself, or whatever. And basically, you fall off this cliff, and then a moment later, you see him pop up, or after he falls, you have the little Sierra like a death box, abort, restart, reload. I forget what the three deals were, but the death deal, and then it has some snarky little comment, and then if you after you click on it, I think you have to click on it. After you click on it, Guybrush pops right back up, and he lands on the cliff, the top, and he says, rubber tree or something like that, and that was a little joke. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll go pretty fast on the. Yeah. Well, that's what I do half the time. I'd have to speed it up just because some of these things just took so long to walk across the screen and stuff. But um so the Monkey Island had this deal where it says, we're not going to punish you. Uh, well, that wasn't. Anyways, it was a joke on the Sierra death screens, basically, because Monkey Island does not have any actual deaths. So it goes to one conclusion, right? The end of the story. And then part of their philosophy was that they don't punish you for like going on, trying the wrong thing and doing different things, right? So they want you to explore and do different things, like throwing the hamster in the microwave in Day of the Tentacle. You throw the hamster in the microwave and you expect something else, and that's not what happens. But so yeah. Anyways, um, I don't even know. See, I always do this too. Fender, if I don't know how many of my streams you've actually caught, but I always tend to do this too. Because I'm thinking about something, and then I see something, and I go, "Oh yeah," and then I kind of go off on this tangent, and then I start explaining and talking, and eventually I forgot why I told it in the first place. I don't even know why I'm saying all this. It's just to say that I'm not putting multiple endings on it, and this is not like a full choose your own adventure like a real one. It's it's interactive. They all lead to the same place. In other words, like here, you can only pick one of these. I just did this just for this part here. They all end up in the same room or the same page. Here, I kind of did the same thing, sort of. These all go to the same result here, but each of them like has two. Okay, so like this one has two choices. They go off into that, and then this also has two choices: the end result or this other choice, and then the end result. I got actually got different patterns in here. Um, then there is this the one? What do we got here? We got 12, we got 15. Okay, this is the 15 one. Okay, so what it means is there's three choices, and I want you to go through all three choices, but you can do them in any order. But they all lead to the same result, right? So if you pick the first choice, then you have two remaining choices, which are the two ones you didn't pick up here. Then you pick that one, and then each one has whatever the choice is left, and so there's some like duplicate things here, and and then of course this is what I call like the 9 shot or the straight shot or whatever you want to call it. It's just the pattern is basically I give you three choices, but then the remaining three choices uh, is in like a sequence, right? See here, we got trial by gauntlet, trial by combat, and trial by mount, right? Horse. That's basically jousting, and so you pick one of the three, and so you pick gauntlet, then it goes combat, and then it goes mount, and then if you pick combat, then it goes gauntlet and goes mount, and if you pick mount, then it goes gauntlet and goes combat. So you don't have any more choices than that. I'm just trying to give you the sense of agency when you're reading it. So this first phase is just going to be basically an interactive story. That's basically what it's going to be. Just your basic interactive story. It's fine. Eventually, it will be a full adventure game, but right now, way I'm setting everything up and making sure everything's in the story and everything, it's set more like a choose your own adventure kind of an interactive deal that ways. And I am going to put this up when I get this. Well, when I get this part of the okay, so I'm going to actually do 2 passes, right? So here, I'll give you an idea of what the what it looks like. Okay, so this is one here. Hubert puts on a few hats and casts a ward reveal spell. Standing a certain distance in front of the case, a sudden chill overcomes Hubert. In order to avoid the chilling sensation, he moves towards the case and immediately gets warmer. It's obviously warmer right next to the case, but comfortably so. Hubert mutters something about the words not being tripped. Then Hubert searches his bags and realizes he doesn't have the right hats. Okay, so these are just events that happen, right? This is a story beat. Technically, this is in between the actual story beats that I made, the outline of the actual plot that I made. But these are just events. This is not a narrative, right? You're not reading it like a book, right? Eventually, I'll have like description. Checking around in his hat bag, he messes around and he puts this hat and this hat and this hat, and then to cast a word reveal spell, and then anyways, it'll be a narrative pass. It'll be like paragraphs, like you'll be reading it, right? Like a book. So this is the event pass essentially, or story beat pass, or whatever you want to call it. And once I get all those done, then I have to go through all of the scenes again, and make do a narrative pass. And the narrative pass will be like telling a story, like you're reading a book or something. That's going to take a long time too. That's what's kind of annoying, because my original intention was to make this phase short. So it'll only be 30 or 40 pages at most, maybe, and encompass the whole story. And I didn't do that, so now I'm kind of stuck. I mean, I could always start over, but as much time and that is spent, and as much effort as I put into this, I at this point I can't really see myself restarting. So I'm just gonna have to slog through the whole thing. And if you're wondering how big it is, we're gonna zoom out here. See that? Okay, I have 70 something pages or story beats left to work on, and it's taken too long just to go through one, which is why I'm trying to figure out a faster process here. But yeah, so okay, so now I should actually get to this, because I'm burning daylight and I only have an hour now left. And let's see. Okay, so in the actual like final game, let's see. Okay, wait, let's do this. It's different. What was I gonna say? I forget what I was gonna say. Anyways. Okay. Oh, all I was gonna say was I decided not to add any extra like choices and stuff for getting the hats. Eventually, in the final game, the actual game part of it, it's going to be Let me check something. Hold on a sec. Oh, that's announcements. That's not what I wanted. Okay, where's my thing? Where is the thing? You know the thing. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. But in the final game, you're going to actually have to go back to Hubert's house, and you're going to have to go and fetch a few hats. In fact, you can't open a portal inside here. In fact, that's part of the mystery that's going on. There is some magic put on it when it was closed up that doesn't allow you to teleport in or out, or open a portal into or out of here. And there's a little bit of a mystery here. And basically, what happens is Max has found a way of opening a portal without using Quicksilver and intent. Okay, so the way the magic works is you hold a piece of Quicksilver and you have an intent on going somewhere. And so then you say some words. It doesn't really matter what the words say. It's your intent. So you intend on going somewhere. It opens a portal to that place. And that's how tourists get to Enchanted Lands and back. They actually get the tickets and stuff sent to them. And so Max, who's the bad guy, who's the guy that actually owns Enchanted Lands now and has closed everything up, he has invented a device that unlocks the resonant frequency of wherever you want to go, and in order to be able to move places like you can with the portal, but you don't need Quicksilver now. Okay, so there's a little bit of a break in logic, sort of, but I explained away. But so basically, he's building a giant machine that's going to allow him to march armies, open multiple portals to many different realms, and march large armies through to be able to conquer them. So he actually needs Quicksilver to give him the extra power that he needs to open a portal, to open multiple portals to these different realms. He doesn't. The device itself doesn't need Quicksilver to open it. The device itself actually generates the correct frequency, and then so basically he does this test run. He goes into the trophy room, and he manages to extract the scepter out of the case without tripping the wards. Why? Because his device is kind of it kind of works around like normal portal magic. Like I said, is based on intent. His device is not based on intent. His device is just based on selecting the right frequency that he can open a portal to different realms. So a kind of magic was used, but not the normal. So he is trying to figure that out. So that's actually what I'm coming to here. And so after he did the ward detection spells, he's going to do some. He's going to piece together the crime using various spells. Now, the reason he's using various spells and not just one spell, like a thing that kind of shows him what happened or whatever, is because his magic only works halfway. So originally he was called Halfway Herald, and I might go back to that maybe. I think it's a little cringy. Max uses the name Max Millions to kind of indicate he's got a lot of money, and it's alliteration, and it sounds kind of cheesy, so I don't know if it might be appropriate because it's supposed to be comedy anyways, so I might just leave it. But sometimes when you hear the alliteration stuff and the words that their name is supposed to mean real words, then it sounds kind of cheesy and not necessarily in a good way. So I'm still kind of reserving, I'm still trying to ponder in my head whether I want to change his name back to Halfway, and whether or not I want to use Harold, because Harold is the long form of Harry, and this is what I think. What I think is, when I came up with the idea for the character, I was probably thinking of Harry Potter. I mean, just to be honest, was not. I'm not saying that I copied Harry Potter for anything. He's not a wizard like Harry Potter. The only thing is that they're both wizards, right? You have wizards and stuff. Gandalf's a wizard, right? So that's not enough of a similarity to be like copying something. But I think when I named him, I was thinking I thought Harold was a good name, probably because I'd seen like the first Harry Potter or something by that time, the first or second one, I don't remember. I don't even I've only watched those like once, maybe twice, possibly twice. I'm not sure. Out of the whole time, I think I've really watched any of them like only like once. Well, no, there's a couple of that I think I watched twice, but um back when they were younger, I watched a few of those, and then when they came out in the movies, we watched them at least once, just because the story, and not because I'm that interested in Harry Potter. But anyways, so I was thinking, as far as names go, I was thinking Harold, and I realized that Harold is the same name as Harry. I went, okay, well, maybe if I make a joke out of it, maybe his name is exactly the same as Harry Potter, and so I wanted to. So he wants to change his name because he wants to avoid copyright infringement, right? It's supposed to be a joke, right? A pun. So his original name was Halfway Harold, and then later on when I'm transcribing my notes, I look and I go, well, that's too cringy, and then I pick from a bunch. I select from a bunch of different names. I finally settle on Hubert. Hubert because it kind of sounds funny. So you know, halfway Hubert. I don't know. It sounds okay, I guess. Um, it could be Harold halfway. It could be Hubert halfway. I haven't really decided yet. But anyways, he's got to have only half of his magic, like literally half of it, and you don't know what half is going to manifest itself. So, you know, you could conjure up a glass of water, and it would only be half of a glass of water. So it could be a glass with it only half full of water. It could be a glass that was chopped off in half. Like you could tell that the glass was longer, but it had been cut through. Or it can be cut through from the bottom. Maybe the bottom half is cut off, and so when it appears, the water splashes and the piece of glass falls to the ground. That sort of thing. He conjures up two things. He only gets one thing, and you've already seen that earlier in the story when you like go through it. There's a couple of things. So basically, if he wants to use magic, his own magic, that's not portal magic and not various things like that. Magic mirrors and whatever. He's got to basically layer it. He's got to do either multiple passes of the same spells, hoping that he gets a different half so he can piece it together. Or in this case, he's going to use three different spells that do three different things that kind of do similar. And then the player, like I'll tell the player here in this first pass, but the player is going to have to kind of piece together what happened. So the first spell is a what do they call it? Time reconstruction spell. Okay, so time reconstruction basically will show kind of this like kind of shadowy. I don't know. I haven't really described it yet to myself. Like you're watching a projection or on the air or whatever. It's but it shows what happened, but it shows it in reverse. So when he casts a spell, it's only gonna work partly, and basically he's going to see. I should also think about the halfway aspect of it, which I didn't think of. I'm thinking three different spells, and that would contribute to the whole of what he sees. But yeah, there should probably be some overlap because really it's going to be halfway. So really, you only need two different things that overlap to be the full way. So I'm gonna have to um, think of something like that where they kind of overlap. But anyways, so what he sees is a figure, a hooded, robed figure holding a device, and he's walking backwards from the point of the weird magic that he can't quite tell what it is. and he sees the figure walking back, and then he casts another spell, which is a what do I call it? Deverberation. Deverberation is audio deverberation spell. Deverberation is something I just came up with. It's like reverberation, but it's backwards, right? It's not actually backwards. You don't hear it backwards, but it's like it's replaying. It's I could just call it reverberation too, because the idea is you're catching the reverb of what was said, or what was whatever was audio was there. So I call it deverberation. I might change that. Doesn't really matter. So basically, what he hears is he hears like a switch turn on. He hears a low hum, and then he doesn't really hear much until he hears like a knocking, and it sounds like a knocking coming from within the case. So he hears this like knocking sound, and then the final spell is a sensation, like a touch spell, where he can kind of feel kind of what goes on, and what do they call that? Um, I call it the hand of touching, which sounds dumb, but it's meant to be kind of funny sounding. He's able to sense something that was knocking around inside the case before it was removed. So so when he feels around the case, he feels the thing shaking, like something knocking around inside it. So that means that something inside it grabbed the scepter and pulled it through. And so hopefully later on it won't be too hard for a player or somebody to figure it out, other than me just telling you. But figuring out that what had happened is this figure came up with this device, turned it on, it opened a mini portal, and he was able to reach in his hand into the case through the portal and grab onto the scepter and pull it out. And he's maneuvering it, so that's where you hear the knocking, and then he pulls it through. He feels the knocking, and then you hear the knocking, and so they're kind of the same thing. And he pulls it through, and then he takes off with it. And so when you see it backwards, you're seeing him walking from the point of turning the device on, back from where he came from, which is down the hallway. So basically, he come through the hallway, probably through the front door, through the hallway, which is the Hall of Fame, into the trophy room, and the and then he turned on the device. He reached in, he grabbed the thing, maneuvered it a little bit, knocking around in there, pulled it out, and then absconded with the scepter. And none of the magic words had been tripped. None of the it physically wasn't tampered with, and so he needs to figure out what this mystery is. And hopefully it'll be enough clues that later on you'll be able to come up with the idea, as long as you didn't, even if you hadn't heard my explanation here. So anyways, let us go. I'm still wasting time, and I guess I probably only get part of this done today. Again, it's the same thing. At least if I get one thing done a day, at least that's one a day. And at a certain point in time, I had at least 80, maybe 75, maybe it could be still 75 to 80, somewhere in there. So if I did it once a day, a weekday, not the weekends, that'd be 20 days a month. So that would be about 4 months that I would get this pass done in, which is still a lot of time. But some of this was taking weeks. It's taking a couple of weeks just to try to get to something that didn't break my logic, my story logic, my world logic. So I have to think through stuff, and that's why I use the AI a lot. But I use it for a rubber duck debugging. I use it as a sounding board to actually help me figure out what I want to do. Okay, so okay. Let me close this again. Let's look at one of these again. Words not being trapped. Searches for his bag and realizes he doesn't have the right hats. Okay. So what I was thinking about doing is actually have you leave and get the hats and then come back, but that's going to take too long in this context. When I actually do the final game, there'll probably be a puzzle. You'll probably have to figure out what's the correct hats to take and the correct configuration of hats. The hat magic will be its own thing. It's sort of like the loom staff, right? The distaff, where he had to learn the spells by recreating the drafts, right? In a hard mode, you had to write down the notes, but in easy mode, it actually came up once you learned it. You could just use it directly. So the hat system is going to sort of be like that when I get to that point. Okay, so what am I typing here? Hubert leaves Wizard you the way he came, then goes to his own house. Hubert then goes to his hat room and picks a few hats, and then returns to Wizard you. Finally, Hubert is ready. Let's see, what did I type here in the notes? Okay. Let's see something here. If I might need to do this in every one of these. Okay, I gotta put this in every one. So, Hubert leaves. Hubert returns to his house and retrieves a new configuration hats, and then goes back to Wizard you. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in every single one. So let's see here. That way I don't have to write all the extra stuff. It's just and I could just I could make these all different sounding. In fact, that's one of the things I was kind of saying that I could do, at least in this phase, was I just want to get things down, so I don't need to do. I can copy things verbatim. Like I was trying to vary the words a little bit, but I don't really need to do that. Why? Because I'm gonna have to go through do a narrative pass anyways, and I just want to get this done as much as possible. So from here on out, I'm not going to vary. I got a stain butter or something on my stupid shirt. Man, I try hard to change my shirt so that like when I go out, um when we go grocery shopping or something, I usually put on a different shirt. I have a different shirt inside the house because I probably, it's probably too much information, but I'm a pretty messy eater. It's just the way it is, I realize I just turned 50, and this is one fact that this is the one thing I've never been able to change about myself. I'm just a messy eater. That's the way it is. I get stuff on me all the time, so I usually have a different shirt so that it doesn't mess it up. I just got a stupid stain on here, and I thought for sure I didn't eat with this shirt, but it must have been when I was buttering some bread, and it somehow got butter on it. Drives me nuts. And you can't even see it on the stupid camera, but I don't know. Sorry. just drove me nuts. Anyways, Hubert leaves Wizard U. He comes and goes to his own house, gets a few hats, returns to Wizard U. Okay. Having determined the wards have not been tripped, but that some wrong magic was executed here. He pulls up a few spells to help him reconstruct the crime. Okay. And the crime is still in the scepter. Okay, so alright. Hit 1 to cast the, what did I say? What do I call it? The time reconstruction spell. Hit 2 to cast the audio reverberation spell. I don't know, I guess I could capitalize these. Not really important, but audio time reconstruction spell. Hit 3 to cast the Hand of Touching. Okay, Hand of Touching. For lack of a better name. I guess I should look at the camera more and forget about looking at the... Well, I still have to look over there, so, just in case somebody like chats in the chat or chats in Discord. Well, nobody chats to me in Discord, even if they're watching the stream. They just don't do that. But just in case somebody is chatting in the video channels, IRC, or let's see, okay, so I still have 30 minutes. That's good. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I do. I have a few patterns now, and I probably won't have that many more patterns later on. This is again, I have a few things where you actually skip, where you'll like skip a page or two, because you don't strictly need it. You just, it's just there that actually helps for whatever, that helps give more context or whatever. So let's go ahead and we're gonna actually, oh, sir list, wrong thing. Go back over here. We're gonna Control S just because I don't want that to complain. Save room data is gonna save the actual rooms, the text that we just put in here, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'll show you how I create new rooms. So let's go ahead and add. I'm gonna find an easier way to do this in the layout tool too, but okay, so actually let's put all these up here like this. Okay. And we are going to go ahead and I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit. And now I got to make sure that I'm on the right. So this is location. These are like location numbers. Eventually, the reason I have these multiple ones of the same name with the number, the subscript at the end, is because they're going to be folded into a single file eventually. They'll have multiple, like, they're going to have multiple choice sets and multiple, like, description, like, ancillary description, like, or second description, whatever you want to call it. But they're going to represent a single location as evidenced by this number. I am also going to have to kind of divide things up a little bit more, because you have the trophy room here, you have the hallway here. I just have Wizard U, which is the outside, and ideally I'm going to have, anytime a scene change occurs, I'm going to have a new location. So there's probably going to be more locations here. It doesn't mean more files. It means I'm going to add more, essentially just more locations. I'm going to add more, and I'll be adding more numbers and stuff. In fact, I'm going to have to renumber everything, and I suppose I'll write a Python script to actually go in and somehow change these or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to do it manually. You know, I could do like a bulk renaming or something, maybe, depending on what it is. If you notice here, I got 210 items. That's 210 pages right now. And some of these, okay, I got a lot of stuff to go here. All right, so it's gonna be trophy room 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so we're gonna go over here. I'm gonna go over to like this. I'm gonna copy the door here. Oh, what was I gonna do? Oh yeah. Well, actually, I can do this first here. Okay, so let's just copy. No, I don't want to copy the ID. I'm gonna go to door specs. Copy. Okay. Just copying 5. All right. So we're gonna here, and we're essentially gonna paste this same thing here. Paste. This is how I create doors currently. I'm either going to have a button on the panel, or I am going to literally have a thing where you can drag from. It's going to have to be a button, though, because if I do a drag, you're already going to drag to move it. You're not going to drag a point to move it. You're going to actually drag the whole panel. You're going to click on it anywhere in the panel, and you're going to be able to move it. So if I want to add a door, I'm going to have to click a button that's going to be on the panel. I'm going to have some buttons on the panel to do either edits or create doors, or I don't know, edit, create doors, I guess. Maybe I'll have the removal button on that too. I'll have the add button up there. I don't know. I have to decide whether I want to put the removal on the room itself, or if I want to do it up top. And I also got to figure out if I want it to automatically delete everything, or do I want to wait until you hit save room data. So that way you can accidentally like erase stuff that you didn't intend to erase. Anywho, this is going to be 6, 7, and this one's going to be 8. Of course, the choice is important, because it's going to probably take the last choice you have in there. So that's going to be 3, and this is going to be choice is going to be 2. Okay, 6, 7, and 8 don't exist yet, though, so I'm going to go ahead and create that. So, let's go down to this. I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to paste that in here. Paste. Except for this is going to be 6. Okay, this one's going to be 7. And this one's going to be 8. 8. And then in each individual deal, I'm going to put I'll put the name of the spell here, or actually put a thing on here. Yeah, that's the other thing. When I do the layout tool, a big important deal will be the edit thing, the edit box. It always, when I update it, because it's an export variable, so I can edit it directly in the inspector, it keeps on adding the stuff or deleting stuff, so it keeps on adding stuff to the output window. I'm gonna have to fix that by allowing you to edit in the layout tool, but I don't have to do that here anymore. So probably the next thing I want to implement is, well, I wanted to implement moving those around, but I may decide I want to do a save first, a save button, which shouldn't be too hard to do. So I might do that today in part 2. Okay, so this is going to be time reconstruction. Like that. Okay, and then this one's going to be audio reverberation. Audio reverberation. That. And this one is hand of touching. Hand of touching. Don't touch me. Okay. Now this, we're going to go ahead and Control S. Then we're going to go ahead and say room data. Bing. Bing. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. Go ahead and save it. All right. Okay. So now, time reconstruction. So, did I actually put it in here? Come A. Shows a hooded figure walk backwards toward the spot where the board detection spell was indicating some sort of disturbance. Shows the figure take the scepter from his cloak and put it to a small portal in the air in front of the case. With the other hand, the figure is holding a device that seems to be keeping the portal open. And when the device closes the portal, the figure then walks backwards toward the main hall. Okay. So I actually had him showing the whole thing in this one, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do the 3 pattern thing where so you can hit all the 3 different spells, because basically he's got to stack spells for it to work for him. Okay, so let's just all right, let's start with time reconstruction. Hubert puts 3 hats on in a certain order and says a few words. A few minutes later, he's taking something, so he's reaching in and he grabs it and he pulls out. So he has something, then he puts it in and then takes his hand out. And maybe I'll just show faint image of a hooded figure standing in front of the trophy case. The figure seems to have a device in one hand. A mysterious device in one hand. It's mysterious device in one hand. And so he is essentially putting it back in the case, even though it's really in reverse. So forward, sticks his hand in, grabs something, moves it around, pulls it through. In other words, holding something, moves his hand. Okay. And the other seems to come out of mid-air. Being empty. The other seems to come out of being empty. The figure then drops his hands to his side and walks backwards through the hallway and out of sight. Okay, so this is what I do. Now is we're going to do the choices first. Hit 1 to cast the audio reverberation spell. Hit 2 to cast the hand of touching spell. I guess we can put quotes in that for that. Okay. So he's already done the 2 spells. Now he can do 1 more spell. Okay. Now technically I could copy the node, but I'll probably just be adding with the add button. I will have a duplicate room button though. I have a duplication button. In fact, the duplication button will be on. So I'll have an edit button, I'll have a duplication button, and I'll have an add door button. And when you do add door, I was thinking about doing a drag, but doing a drag is going to be kind of a lot of programming work. I have to draw the line to someplace, and then I have to draw the line to the mouse, and then you have to be able to click down, pull it, and then drop it off. And you can't really do that if I'm allowing you to move the room around by clicking on it and dragging it. So the only way is to have this external battery. I can put the external button But instead, I'm going to have the button on there. So I'm going to have edit button. I'm going to have door, add new door button, and a remove door button. Let's see, add door, remove door. I have a door edit button. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. Shouldn't figure that out that now though. I should do that later on. Okay, 1 and 2, right? Okay. So I'm gonna save these first, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 2 new rooms. 1, 2. So, and let's zoom out here for a second. That's not what I meant to do. Let's clear that. Why did... Okay, let me see if I can do this right. Oh, and then I need to do it like a shift. That way I can pull this down or down as I want. Save room data. Okay. Wait, I don't know if I even get done with this, and I know almost exactly what I'm doing here. I could also do it by text. I could just copy the text and then modify them externally and just reload it. That could be a thing. Okay. Oh yeah, I saved it, didn't I? That means new location's gonna be in here. It's not supposed to be, but it'll be in here. See those 2 new locations there? That's okay though, because of the way I have it, the way it works here. So we're gonna add 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're just gonna take 5 and 4 here, and 3 and 2 here. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and save it, just because the way I've done this. Okay, no. Just a second. Alright, let's move these up here. Do that. We'll pull it down a little bit. Alright. Oh. Okay. Actually, let's do this. Just a sec. I'm just maneuvering them. Maneuver, maneuver, maneuver. Maneuver. Okay, we'll leave it like that. We'll save it. Huh. So I'm going to stop you from getting some newer stuff, okay? I was thinking about using Arch at one point, but my dad wanted me to use the same as him because he learned so quickly. So I thought it would be fair if we had the same thing, although I am on LMDE 6, which is not Linux proper, but is close enough. Government work. Okay. Oh yeah, sorry I didn't recognize you, Rook, there in the chat. I'm looking at IRC, I'm looking at my thing, and I'm looking at different stuff and whatever. And now it's almost time up, and so I won't even get to start doing this here. But that's okay. Okay, so let's do the thing here. Okay. We're going to copy that. And we're going to put that in the door specs here. And actually, 6, 7, that's going to be 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this is going to be 9. It's going to be 10. Choice 2. That. Okay. This is going to be 11, 12. Let's go ahead and paste. 11. Paste. 12. Yeah. And choice 2. I'm using an updated OBS because it's update my NVIDIA drivers. I'm hoping they'll release on the E7 soon, which will possibly mean I can install newer drivers. Linux might be efficient. I keep thinking I'm going to switch to Mint proper, but never get around to it. Too busy, too much work to back everything up, etc. Okay, so there is that 11, 12, and then this should be 13, 14. Let's go over here. It'll be 13, that, and paste. It's gonna be 14 like that, and actually MHS 2, And I'm going to say room data. There's no doors here because they these haven't been named yet. Okay, so then let's go ahead and we're going to copy this. Copy. And we're just going to go ahead and paste. This one's 9. This one is going to be 10. It's going to be 11. This one's going to be 12. It's kind of tedious. Just because it's an existing pattern that I know how to do, and I don't really have a button to do it for me. And 14, like so. Make sure everything is saved. We're going to save room data. Boom. Like so. Okay. Now, I need 6 more. And it looks like my time's up for today as far as this goes. That's kind of sucks, but now I don't know if you noticed this, but new locations no longer there. Now they're all down here. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. If I do this really fast, they have some weird like numbers here. Like 225. Well, okay, 225 is probably normal for it. Let's see. Linux somehow does some extra like backup extra files or something before it actually finalizes it or whatever. Okay, so do I? Well, I don't really have enough time. Dang. I guess I'll have to leave this. I'll have to leave it here. And tomorrow I'll have these filled in. Like each of these are gonna have a single entry because that's the only one that's left from each of them, and they're gonna be swapped. And then I'll be copying this. So I'll be copying this to one of these and one of these. Then I'll be copying this to one of these, you know, and so forth. So that they'll have the same text in it. And first I want to make the text different, and then I'm realizing I don't want to make the text different because that's extra work that people aren't going to see anyways. The different text could be when I do the narrative pass. When I do the narrative pass, I can write them slightly differently to have different flavors, so that when you pick different choices in different order, you get a slightly different flavor when you're reading it. Anyways, that's about it for this one. Of course, I'm not going to turn everything off, but I'm going to stop the stream. So, thanks for joining part 1 of the stream, and part 2 will be about an hour. Thanks for watching, listening to part 1. Part 2 in about an hour. Okay. So I did do my thanks here, and okay. Thank you for watching part 1. And I'll be back in an hour, and part 2 we'll be working on the layout tool, and I don't really have a plan yet. I was gonna work on moving things around, but I might add a save button first. Well, I'll have to think about it and talk with maybe ChatGPT or something a little bit, talk it over and figure it out. Anyway, see you in about an hour. Thanks for watching.